Here are 3 time frames that I use that I think you guys will find to be helpful. If you do enjoy this video, if you could please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. Enjoy. My 3 favorite time frames are going to be the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and then the 2-minute. When you use these in correspondence with each other, i.e. you're finding setups that are setting up on the 15-minute, 5-minute, and then the 2-minute, it can greatly increase your win rate. Now, when we go into the 2-minute chart, what most people do when they're scalping or intraday trading is using the 1-day, 1-minute chart. I don't know about you, but I personally found it to be very choppy. You get stopped out a lot to see the stock then move in your favor, and it's very, very difficult to trade when you are getting started. Zooming out into the 2-minute chart gives you a little bit more smoothness in the chart. Price action seems to respect it a lot better, and you can find a lot more quality setups, in my opinion, on the 5-minute chart. So for example, let's zoom out here and let's do this. So what I'll typically do is have the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and then the 2-minute, so you can get a good idea of what it's doing on the 5-minute, is in the 15-minute, and then going in to find a 2-minute entry. Let's hypothetically just use IWM for example. You had this pre-market descending wedge here. We broke out of this wedge, so we're breaking on the 15-minute. Then we are going into the 5-minute. We find that 5-minute break, and then we go into the 2-minute and watch this break and retest right into that prior day close and this reject off of this candle. So you can see how we're using multiple different time frames. So we're starting with the 15-minute. We're identifying the structure on the 15-minute. Breaks, so we check, we have that in our favor on the 15. Then we go into the 5-minute, it breaks on that. And then we go into the 2-minute chart. Now, the same thing could go for any stock that you're watching. When you get multiple setups on different time frames, that is going to be what's key. The same thing here is a break and retest of the trend line on the 5-minute. You break, you retest, and then you push higher here without getting any meaningful drawdown below this attempted move lower here. Now we could do this on, like I said, you could do this on any stock that you want. Let's say we wanted to go into, for example, let's say Tesla. You could do the same thing here on Tesla. So we are watching for this trend line break here. Just an example of a setup. You get this trend line break here, failed hold here, breakdown and continuation lower. So you can see a 5-minute rejects. So we attempted to break on the 15-minute, failed. We failed here. It also failed on the 5-minute here and here. Yes, it held on the 2-minute, but what saved you from this trade is that we rejected on the 5-minute and then the 15-minute chart. So utilizing multiple time frames can greatly help you increase your win rate. On the same thing, let's go into Apple here. So we get a nice move here. We get this break after this failure to push lower at this 8 o'clock 15-minute chart. Nice reclaim higher here, so we get this strength over this level. Then we consult into the 5-minute chart. You can see we pull back, hold this level here off the open, and then we get this nice movement where we hold that opening print off of this 2-minute candle. So my 3 favorite time frames for intraday trading are going to be the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and the 2-minute. Now, if we are talking about longer term time frames, again, the daily is precedent. The daily is what runs everything. Let's go into a random stock, for example, and let's clear this drawing set here. The daily chart is what matters the most when you're getting a macro context. So start consulting the daily, but then for intraday trading, that 15-minute, that 5-minute, and then that 2-minute to find those setups. So for example, if we were watching a 2-minute entry and then we confirm to break above this prior candle high on the 15-minute, this is a better entry than if you're just taking a random 2-minute entry and the 15-minute is just moving lower and you're trying to capture that first movement. That's likely where you get boom, that pop, it will stop you out, and then it reclaims higher. So we're waiting on all 3 of those time frames to come together to increase your win rate. Hope you guys enjoyed this video on 3 of my favorite intraday trading time frames. Thank you.